Hello and welcome to Peloton People Podcast, Season 4, Episode 7. Today, I am super excited. I think I'm always excited about all my co-hosts, but today I'm really excited because she is the first one on the show that lives in New Mexico. So welcome to the show, Tiffany Cortez. How are you, Tiffany?
Great. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. Oh, this is so exciting. I think is it okay to give out your leaderboard name?
Sure.
It is Tough Tiff Sweats, which I think is a great name. And you're on a 90-day streak. I noticed you work out all the time, and I'm pretty impressed with your whole Peloton journey and history. So let's hear your origin story. How did you first get into Peloton?
Well, I did Beachbody for a really long time. So I've been working at home since my kids were like my older kids were babies. And then I decided to do Les Mills on demand to try that out. And they have one of their classes is called The Trip. And it's a cycling class. And you go through like this interactive world. It's kind of like Tron looking. And it looked really fun, but I didn't have a bike. And so I bought like a Sunny bike. And I really liked Les Mills, but it's like all the classes are like advanced level. Okay. There's not like a beginner level, and like they have different lengths of classes, but they just take out like the easy tracks. And so it's still like really quite hard. And I was like, I can't do this every day, like this level of difficulty of a class. And then I had some friends, kind of acquaintances who had been doing Peloton, and one of them used a different bike. And she was like, yeah, you should do Peloton on the app. And so I tried it out and I loved it. Spoiler alert. I really liked that they had like so many like variety of classes and different levels of difficulty. So if you wanted to do a really hard workout, you could, or if you were new or you want to take an easier day, I like to do kind of like a middle amount of difficulty, intermediate, is more my style, and then maybe do some harder classes occasionally. But it really, I loved the music. Like on Les Mills and Beachbody, it's all like covers. They don't have rights to the music, and so I really liked that. And I've done a lot of other platforms like iFit and stuff. I have a Nordic Track treadmill, and so I got iFit for a year. And I think Peloton's instructors, you feel like you know them more than in these other platforms. It just felt like they were more performing, and then like their real personalities were probably very different than their like on stage, so yeah, I really liked they seemed genuine, and like that you could hang out with them and they would be similar to how they are in the classes.
That's neat. I've done iFit myself in the past once or twice, and even when I've had Peloton, I've done iFit a time or two, because I've always liked their series concepts, like their outdoor running and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they had one instructor I really loved. Tommy Ribs was just amazing.
I think he's the best one on that platform. He seems like he's like kind of the exception to me.
Yeah, that was kind of it for me too. But the other instructors didn't resonate with me, at all, really, like the Peloton instructors do. I don't know how Peloton figured out that special sauce, because I think it has a lot to do with the music. I mean, I think that is a huge part of it. And but I'm not sure. So then you got the bike after. So you were just on the app for a while.
Yeah.
And then after that, you got the bike.
Yeah, it's hard to do the bike classes on the app because like you don't have a resistance number. And so I had like this little sheet that would give me like equivalent. It'd be like 30 resistance is like 3.25 turns. And so then it would be like, then they would call out another resistance, and I couldn't remember how many turns I was at. So then I would go all the way to 0 and then all the way. And I was like so preoccupied with trying to get the resistance right that it really was taking away from the experience. I think now, having done it for a while, I wouldn't have been so worried about getting the exact right resistance. But at the time, it was like very important for me to like feel like I was like doing what they were calling out. And then I heard about the Schwinn bike, which does have a resistance number. And so it's easier to translate that over. You can get a little plate you put on there that has the corresponding number for Peloton. And so I was going to get a Schwinn bike, but they're like about $1,000 if they're not on sale. And then they had the refurbished bikes come out for Peloton, and it was like the same price as the Schwinn almost. And so I was like, well, I might as well get the actual Peloton bike. So I ended up getting a refurbished bike, and when you have to like call and order it over the phone. And then at the end of the call, the lady was like, well, see you on the leaderboard. And I like legit started crying. I was like so excited to be like officially a part of Peloton. And I was like, I'm getting way emotional about this, and I shouldn't be, but I was like so excited.
And do you remember your first ride at all?
Yeah. The first one that I did on the app was with Tunde.
Okay.
And it was like a beginner ride. And I really loved Tunde. Now, her normal rides are a little more challenging. So I don't, if I do a Tunde ride, it's usually like a low impact, but I did enjoy my rides with her.
And then how about on the bike? Do you remember your first class when you were finally plugged in to the grid?
I don't remember. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Now, how about instructors? Who are your favorite instructors these days?
I really like especially on the tread, I do a lot of walks. I like Emma and Selena. And Selena, her family lives in New Mexico, so she talks about New Mexico a lot.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. And she's also Italian, and I was a missionary for my church in Italy. So wow. I like when she throws in an Italian word here and there. And on the bike, I also do Emma and Dennis Morton and Hannah Corbin. Those are, sometimes I'll do I used to do a lot of Bradley rides, but I feel like my likes have kind of like evolved over the years. Like there would be like times when I do like a ton of a certain person, and then, but lately this is what I've been doing.
I'm kind of the same way there. Although I will have to say I'm pretty bad in the fact that my favorite instructor is usually the last person I took, because I really do like them all. There's not one person on there that I've taken a class and gone, I don't really, but they're all great in their own ways. But sometimes like when I'm looking for a class, I'll avoid instructors, just because I'm not in that kind of mood. So I do find myself doing that some, but I think it's a great platform. Now, do you run at all, or are you just strictly walking?
I just walk and hike. Yeah. Okay. Because I have some lower back issues, and so I avoid running.
Yeah, that's smart. Everybody tells me I should give it up one of these days, but I just can't do it. But I'm hardly a runner. I go so slow that you really can't even. If you're doing a walking class beside me and I was doing a running class, you would walk right by me. That's how slow I am. So I can't help it. So anyway, so did you have any fun stuff happen this past week? I know you mentioned like your son had his last cross country meet.
Yeah.
So, did you go to it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. We went yesterday morning. So it's been fun because I don't run, and neither does my husband. And we've never been in a running sport, so it's been fun to learn about it. It's like kind of interesting as a parent when your kids get a a hobby or something that they're doing, then you kind of have to become an expert at that and to learn all about it. So it's been fun to learn about cross country, and I've been trying to get him to do like a Peloton program, like for running.
Oh, he would probably really like that.
I think he would.
How much were they running a day?
I think the most he's ran was like 5 miles or something, but I was talking to his coach, and she says she's going to try to get him to do more miles next year.
That's neat. Did the team finish pretty well?
Yeah, I think so. My kids go to a charter school, and so they're like in a different division than like the public schools. Okay. And so it's kind of fun they're not like near the level as like the public school teams. But the homeschool team is actually like really good. And they have like a ton of people on their team, and they always like beat everybody else.
That actually doesn't surprise me, because they can train so much differently,
Yeah. And we're like, well, it's not really fair. They can train all day,
Exactly. they actually can. But anyway, I guess for around here, we've been kind of busy Airbnb wise. We had a bunch of guests in last week, and we've got a new group coming in today. And this is big in this part of the country. Vanderbilt football beat Missouri yesterday, and that growing up here in Nashville, or in the Nashville area, Vanderbilt was always terrible. I mean, the worst football team you can imagine, especially in the SEC. They were just you would go to a game at Vanderbilt. Let's say they were playing Alabama. About 80% of the stadium would be red, and about 20% would be black and gold for Vanderbilt. It was so sad. I mean, even their home games were away games. It was, and to see them in the top 10 right now, they're 7-1, and it is just amazing. And the quarterback, do you know anything about Vanderbilt at all, Tiffany? Mm-mm. Well, the quarterback that we have, he transferred from New Mexico State.
Oh,
yeah. So, and he is unbelievable. I mean, he's probably the reason that they're doing so well. He got an extra year to play. He sued the NCAA and got an extra year to play. He started out as a junior college player, and apparently the New Mexico State people went to watch the junior college championship for the other quarterback, but they liked this guy so much that they recruited him. And that's how, and then I think a coach came to Vanderbilt and brought him with him. I don't really know the whole story. I'm not a huge Vanderbilt football fan because nobody is. I went to school there for a little bit, but football just wasn't a thing. So, but anyway, a big shout out to them. And then we have some renters here that live on the farm with us, Casey and Mary Alice, who Mary Alice really got into Pelotoning. And they just bought a house not too far away, so they'll still come over in Peloton, I'm sure. But so that apartment we're going to kind of renovate a little bit, and then it'll be an Airbnb also. So our little resort is growing, so I'm pretty excited about that. I just love it. So I mean, the cleaning, that's probably the worst part, but meeting people, and they come in from all over, and it's just a really neat experience. So, but very few people work out when they come here. It's really odd. I don't tell everybody about our gym, but even the people I do, they hardly ever end up using it unless it's somebody from Peloton, then,
yeah.
but Peloton, I guess Peloton people especially, they just love to work out. It's kind of, do you think you love Peloton as much today as you did when you first got it, or has it waned at all?
No, I definitely like it.
Now, have you tried any other platforms since you've been doing Peloton, or are you doing anything outside of Peloton right now?
No, not right now. I did iFit for, on and off, but really then I pretty much stopped. I did do Apple. Like I had a free trial for Apple Fitness, and I did a couple of those workouts, but I was just like, I'd rather do Peloton,
Apple Fitness did not resonate with me at all. And I don't know why, but it didn't. And Peloton's new CEO, he came from app. I think he's the one that kind of started Apple Fitness for him, but I don't know why. I've tried a couple of classes over there because we have it on our thing, and it just, I don't know what it is. It doesn't resonate at all. But one thing that was kind of neat, in the runs they do, or I mean, I haven't done one in years, but the last one I did, they had three people on the treadmill, 3 instructors, and one was the main instructor, and then I think one might have been doing a little bit harder, and then one was just walking. So you had like a walking guide on there as well. So I always thought that was kind of neat, but I don't know. I love everything Peloton's done. I talk about pace targets all the time. Do you like the pace targets on the walking?
I do. Yeah,
I do too. It just mixes it up a lot. And I couldn't do some of those really fast call outs. A fast walk for me, maybe because I'm so short, but a fast walk for me, I would rather be jogging, than fast walking. So I don't know. It's probably not as good for you though. But anyway, okay. So now you were talking about how you got your bike refurbished, and I went on just this morning. I wanted to check this out, but now they have the Peloton repowered. So I don't think anybody probably ever listens or watches this show that is not already on Peloton, but now is such a great time to get into Peloton if you wanted to, because all this new equipment has come out. So all the really hardcore people, well, I wouldn't say that, but a lot of people are probably wanting to upgrade to the new stuff. I really don't have much desire to do that. I'm not sure why, but I don't. But anyway, Peloton Repowered, which is repowered.onepeloton.com, is where you can go to look for basically individuals selling Pelotons. So I went there this morning just looking around my area, and there was a good selection of not treadmills. Treadmills, you kind of had to go out of the area for me. But one thing I really like about that site is you go on there and you can put in, I think if it's available, you can click within 50 miles. And it'll show you all the Peloton bikes that were within 50 miles. That's what I looked for this morning. And there were several pluses that were in the $700 range, which I thought was pretty good. And then, just a regular Peloton, I saw them for $300-400. And I mean, if you wanted to get into Peloton right now, that is a great way. And one thing I love about that site is I was looking at one bike, and you can look at the bike's history. So it'll tell you how many rides that somebody's done on it. This particular bike, this particular plus that was $700 something, I clicked on it. It had 1 to 25 rides on it, less than 25 hours. It said 1 to 25 hours, one owner. It'll tell you how many owners it's had and whether it was ever part of the rental program. It'll tell you that as well. So, I mean, I would definitely pull. I mean, but the bike was, I think it was sold in 2021. So the person just hadn't used it at all. And I wouldn't be scared at all to buy a bike like that. You look at some of the bikes, especially for this group, and they're going to have hundreds of hours on them. But, to buy a bike with 25 and, only $700, I'm not saying the $700 isn't a lot of money, but in the Peloton world, that's a good deal. That's getting in kind of cheap. So I'm really impressed with that site. I would probably go there these days before I would go buy something just brand new. I think it'd be nice to have one of the new pieces of equipment, but I'm just not, I don't know. It's not calling to me yet anyway. So I don't know. So anyway, we were talking this week over at our Facebook group, Peloton People. So come over there if you get a chance. And we were talking about the most underrated instructors. And I think you had somebody, I can't remember who you said.
Yeah, this is Selena.
I think that's a great one. I mean, she was gone. I was taking a lot of her classes, and then she went on maternity leave the first time. Really got back to taking many of her classes. I don't know, and I don't know why, but I love her. I mean, she's just fantastic. Yeah, there are a lot of people like that. David Kennedy said Hannah Frankson. Do you ever take Hannah Frankson classes?
I don't normally. I've taken like a couple of her classes, but I don't normally
Well, I remember the first time I took one of her classes, I couldn't understand what she was saying. I
She
mean,
does
her
have a
accent
big accent.
was so thick. And maybe I just have closed captioning up now, or maybe she doesn't have as much of an accent. But I've gotten to where I really like her, and I think that would be my pick. Also, she is so funny. Do you do Power Zone rides at all, Tiffany?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's a Power Zone instructor as well, and every single Power Zone ride that I've taken with her, she always makes fun of Matt Wilpers. It's the funniest thing ever. It's kind of like her running bit, and I just love it. She is so funny. So I think she's definitely the most underrated. And then I would throw Andy Spear in there as well. You know, I feel like nobody ever talks about him, and it just seems like whenever you see these Peloton instructors training or something, they're always training with Andy. I mean, it's almost like he's the guy that trains the Peloton instructors. So I think that guy's unbelievable. But there were a lot of people thrown out there in the Facebook chat, and it was really neat. I saw some people commenting that I've never recognized before, so I thought that was really cool. Shayna Baker, I think I'm saying that right. Shayna, is that right? Is it Sean? It's not Sean. It's Shayna. Shayna Baker. She got an email from Peloton with congratulating her for 5,000 rides, and they gave her a $150 Lululemon gift card. Which I thought that was pretty cool. So I don't know if that's a thing or not, but it's a thing for her anyway. So she goes to the studio quite often and rides. So you know, she's big, and she's done 5,000 rides, and every ride she does is hard. I mean, I might be able to keep up with her on one ride, but I couldn't do it all week long. She does it like every single day. Have you ever been to the studio?
No.
Yeah, it's fun when you get a chance to go. I guess that's a pretty big trip from New Mexico.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's almost all the way across the country. So, but it's fun though. If you get a chance, do go.
Yeah, I would like to someday.
Yeah, you got to. Let's see. Anderson and Nikki got their bike fixed last week. So
good.
Yeah, it was something really simple too. Anderson was telling me, and it was something they said that they had some issues with. They've got their bike at Costco, and it was something. It was like almost, I think, something as simple as like a tightening of something. I don't even think it was like a new part was needed or anything. So, but they got that fixed. So that was pretty cool. And let's see what other news we got here this week. KT Newsom. KT Murphy Newsom, one of our Facebook group members, is running the New York City Marathon next Sunday. And I only know this because Cindy Katsky, who was on last week, she said she got an email from Peloton about marathon day prep, and she doesn't run at all. She's like, why is Peloton sending me this? And so KT responded that she got it too, but she was running the New York City Marathon. So I looked at her profile. I mean, this lady is legit. She's run like a bunch of marathons, and she's at least done one Ironman triathlon, which I mean, that's impressive. I got to get her on the show because I love talking about stuff like that. And so good luck to her. And Peloton also is having tons of stuff around the New York City Marathon. So the New York City Marathon is this coming Sunday, I think November 2nd, maybe. Yeah, I think so. And so that is one marathon I would like to run, and I don't even run marathons anymore. So I would love to do that one if I did another marathon. So you don't have any desire to run at all, Tiffany? I mean, is part of you like, I wish I could run at all?
Yeah, I did do like the intro to running, or it's like everyone can run. I can't remember the program that they have. That's beginning runners. And I did do that program, and I wanted to be able to run, but my back just kept hurting, and I was like, I don't think it is good for me. But I think it would be fun. I think they have like the New York City Marathon on Peloton, don't they? Like where they
do. They like have different segments of
Yeah.
So you could piece it all together if you wanted to. It's pretty fun. I was going to talk about that anyway a little bit today. I've really been getting into the scenic runs lately. Do you ever do those? Scenic walks?
I don't have a Peloton treadmill, so I can't do the scenic runs. But I do like on the bike.
Okay, because I've been doing way more of those lately. I think I probably did 4 or 5 of those last week, and it's just something really relaxing about them. You know, they have their own little radio stations, or you can put on your own music, or just listen to something else. So I was doing a lot of that last week, and I kind of forgotten about them, but they're pretty cool. I've never done one of the guided ones, where the instructors guide you. I haven't done one of those yet, but
I like those on the bike, where they guide you.
Yep. I'm the same way. Okay, so let's see. I lost my place here. Oh, Christian, he's one of the Power Zone, like he's the special instructor, and he used to be a professional cyclist. He dropped a new program last week that simulates how he would have trained for the Tour de France. So it's like putting more intention into your training is the way they kind of describe this program. It's a week program, 6 days of working out, and he just kind of, there's a hit ride, there's probably a hill ride. I mean, it's just a lot of different things. If you want to take your biking to the next level, which I really don't have any intention of doing, that is, does the leaderboard, does that affect you at all in the way you do things?
Yeah. I mean, if it seems like I'm close enough to my PR or like somebody else, and I'm like, I like it when I hardly do live rides ever, but if I'm, passing people who have already finished, I'm like feeling pretty good about myself. And it does push me a little bit to go faster if I feel like, like it's within reach. Like I just have to go a little bit harder and I could beat somebody. I'll try.
I guess I'm a little bit like that. I'm not nearly as competitive as I used to be, but I do keep it up, and I do enjoy looking at it, and and I'm like you, I don't do very many live rides at all, so that kind of works out for me too. Okay, artist series. I don't really talk about these that much, but these 2 artists I kind of like. So November 6th, the Who artist series, which I love classic rock, so probably because I'm so old myself. And then November 20th. My old neighbor in Nashville, Kelsey Ballerini, has an artist series coming out. So I thought that was kind of cool. And at least back then when I lived next door to her, by the way, she was a soul cyclist like that. She had one of those in-home soul cycles. And she would kind of bash Peloton every now and then when Peloton would go through bad news. And but she was super nice. Kelsey was just like the nicest. So I had to give a shout out there since I lived right next door to her. Earnings call, November 6th. Do you keep up with any of the financials of Peloton at all?
Not really. I mean, I'll listen to it on a podcast, but I don't like seek it out.
Yeah, I'm sort of the same way. I just hope it's nothing really bad. I get kind of nervous every time they come out because
sometimes they have cool announcements.
That's true. That's true.
Announce something on the earnings call, so that's kind of exciting.
Yeah, that is true, and they will kind of let slip like stuff that's coming up and stuff like that. So that's kind of cool. But I always hate it, like if it's one of those where they're laying off a ton of people or something like that. It just makes me sad. But hopefully it's good news. I don't know if you tried these yet, but they've released new percentage height classes. They're supposedly work on incline endurance. Have you tried any of those yet?
No, I haven't. Okay. I hurt my knee this week.
Oh no!
Last week, and so I was trying to like power through. I'm like, well, I'll work out, but I'll do easier classes because it started to kind of feel better. And then by Thursday, I was like, this was a mistake. I shouldn't have done any workout at all because now it really hurts and it's not getting any better now. And so I couldn't do all the fun things I wanted to do this week.
Yeah. So did you hurt it while you were working out?
I think it's an overuse kind of thing. and it might be related to like my feet and alignment issues, because I do have like bunions and I have a high arch, and I feel like my running shoes are probably not good, and I probably need insoles and stuff. I'm going to go to the chiropractor tomorrow and see if it's an alignment thing, or maybe they can tell me what's wrong with me. But it seems like it's an overuse thing, because it did hurt in in July. But it was like right before we went out of town. And so I had lots of rest. And then I came back and it was fine until now. So I'm like,
I think that's the hardest thing for us people that work out a lot, is just, when we get an injury or start to feel that overuse, and we don't back off, and we know better too. Like, we know, but it's such an integral part of who we are and everything. It's, I don't know. Like you said, now your husband, he does not Peloton at all, correct?
No.
Now, do you mind that, or do you kind of like, you wish he would do it?
I was trying to talk him into it. He did do a couple classes, because we have a rower, like a Concept 2 rower that's his, and he'll row sometimes. And I was trying to get him to do like a Peloton row class, and he did a couple, but he'd rather just like watch a show or something while he's doing it. And then I try to get my kids to do it, and they're like, I think because I do it, then it makes it like not cool or something.
Yeah,
like,
that could be. That could be
my thing. But
I was lucky with Anderson, because when we got our bike, I was like, I asked him if he was interested, and he was like, oh yeah. So, we had quite the road trip when we bought our first bike, but it was funny. So anyway, let's see here. Media of the week. I got to hear what you're watching, listening to, reading, all that kind of stuff. Tiffany, what do you got?
Yeah. So, my husband and I have been watching, Chad Powers.
Oh yeah. I want to see that. Is it good?
Yes, it is good.
Did you see the original skit with Eli when he did it?
Yeah. He showed it to me. Like, this is what it's based off of, this Eli Manning skit. And it was pretty funny. But yeah, we watched all of the ones that are available. There's like a new one coming out tomorrow, I think.
Okay.
And it's super funny, and it's just like absurd, some situations, but hilarious. And so I'm really enjoying that.
Okay, I got to see that one. Cindy last week mentioned the Chair Company, and I never heard of it. Like, it's a new show on HBO, and I've heard of it like all this week. I see ads for it and people talking about it like the whole week. So Cindy was a real trendsetter on that one. And one that I watched last week that I really liked, and it's wouldn't be for everybody, but I enjoyed it, was a show called Boots on Netflix. It's about this guy who goes to boot camp in the early, I think in 1990 maybe, and it's about his time at boot camp, and it's pretty interesting. It's pretty intense, but I liked it, and I watched the whole thing. And I rarely finish shows. I'll watch a little bit of everything, but I rarely finish, and I actually finished this one. So Boots on Netflix, I give a big thumbs up to. Lots of Halloween classes, by the way, this week, and I think most of them were today and yesterday. That it looked like they came out. Do you like the Halloween classes at all?
Yeah, I think they're pretty fun. Hopefully I can take some.
Oh yeah. How much time are you going to take off, you think?
I don't know. I'll probably go back as soon as I can.
Well, maybe your chiropractor will give you some good advice on that.
Maybe they'll be like, it's not that big of a deal. You can work out. And I'll be like, great.
And you could probably, go really low resistance on the bike also. And that probably wouldn't mess you up, and you'd still get, some cardio in.
Yeah.
So it's those legs and feet. I'm telling you that they do me in too. So I totally get it.
Yeah.
Let's see. Peloton's offering Black Friday and Cyber Monday price guarantees. So that's kind of neat. So like if you bought something right now, and if it did go on sale for Black Friday or Cyber Monday, then they would give you back the difference. I think that's what that means. So I guess that's a good way, because everybody at this time of year is probably, I'll just wait for Black Friday
for sure.
do that. So, and then I don't know if you got caught up in this, but there was a outage last week on the internet. I think it was Sunday, Monday, and Peloton got caught up in that. So a lot of their stuff was down too. And we actually got caught up in that too, because Anderson was trying to put the podcast on last Monday when we always put it on all the platforms, and nothing was working. So the audio podcast was a few days late last week, and it was because of that. Because I don't think it came out till Wednesday. He forgot about it probably on Tuesday, but Monday it wouldn't work at all. And then the only other thing I have like this week is Peloton apparel. I saw this article. I thought it was kind of neat. At the end of some of Robin's classes, there's a QR code that's coming up at the end where you can take a picture of that and go right to her new apparel collection. So I always thought that was kind of a neat idea. It would if they did like a QR code or something for what the instructor's wearing in the class that time. Do you have a lot of Peloton apparel?
I have some that there was like on sale on like a good sale, and so I bought like a couple times, and so to get the free shipping, you have to buy a bunch. So
yeah. I don't think I've ever actually bought anything from Peloton apparel online, but I have bought a piece or two. Like Amazon's had like I guess closeouts a couple of times that I bought, and then when the Peloton store in Nashville closed, they had just fantastic prices. So we got a bunch of stuff there, and then Anderson and Nikki will get me something every now and then. I think Anderson may have gotten me this one. This is like a Peloton something. So I don't really have a lot of Peloton apparel, but I always threaten that I'm going to start wearing it more. But I don't really talk about Peloton that much when I'm away from. Like this is my fix. Your husband. You made a comment online that you said your husband was happy that you'd have somebody to talk to Peloton about.
Yeah.
I kind of feel for you there, because when we first started, Nikki was around all the time. Anderson lived at home, and so at dinner at night we would just talk Peloton constantly, and Jennifer, she likes it too, my wife Jennifer, but she's not as big in it as that. So I can't imagine like going to dinner and having all this Peloton inside you and nobody at your table being interested at all.
Yeah, they do not care. I still talk about it, and then but they have no idea what I'm talking about. I'm like, Selena's pregnant with twin girls. Can you believe it? And they're like, who is Selena?
That's funny. Have you gotten to meet Selena when she's been out there in New Mexico at all?
No, her family lives in Santa Fe, but sometimes she's talked about like coming to Albuquerque, and I'm like, think about like, how cool would that be if I ran into Selena in Albuquerque, and I'd be like,
No, that would be crazy. Hey! What now in your friend group, are there a lot of Pelotoners like there in
I have like one friend that does it.
Okay.
And so she has a Tread Plus, and it looks really nice. I'm like,
have you tried it out? Have you tried out the Tread Plus?
No, she said I could, but I haven't.
You should try it out. It's a really neat piece of equipment.
She loves it. I'm trying to get her to get a bike. I'm like, if you have a tread, you might as well get a bike. It's not that much. You're already paying the fee, So.
Yeah. Because it wouldn't be anything extra. You just have to get, and as we talked about earlier, you could get in a bike really cheap. I mean, way cheap compared to the Tread Plus. Those things, they're so expensive.
Yeah, I know. That's like the dream, right? Someday
we bought one used. Our first treadmill that we got from Peloton was a Tread Plus, and we bought it used. And oh my God, moving that thing was a nightmare. It weighed so much, Tiffany. I'm not even kidding when I tell you this. It was a monster machine. I don't think I would get one again. Well, I guess I probably would, but I would do it differently. It was me and 3 high school boys that moved. Or I guess they were maybe college age at that time, but it was hard. Oh, it was hard. And the lady we went and bought it from, they lived up. I mean, the tread was upstairs, And so getting upstairs to get this tread and getting it down the stairs, and then she wouldn't let us wear shoes in the house. So we're in sock feet and we're on carpet on stairs, and it was just it was terrible. But anyway, so now what else do you have? You got any other things in your notes today?
Yeah, I when I was working out when I shouldn't be, I was trying out the prevention series that just
I meant to talk about that.
Yeah. So I did a couple of like the bone health ones with Jocelyn Thompson Rule, and she's also a good underrated.
She is underrated. You're right about that.
I think she puts a lot of thought into her, her class plans and things like that. But like the beginner one, I felt like it would be good for like an older person just wanting to work out that maybe had some like a little bit of mobility issues, not like a ton, but like you practice you're doing squats, but you're just getting it out of a chair. In it, you go sit down and get up a bunch of times. So working on that and working on some balance. And so it's pretty slow. You have like some couple lightweight moves. And then and I did the intermediate one, and it uses light and medium weights, a band and a step.
Okay.
And that one, I feel like it's still like easier than a beginner strength class that would be on the platform. But also very good for people who are just getting into strength training, want to take it really slow and work into it. And you're supposed to take them take the first one like a couple times a week for a few weeks and then move up. I didn't get to take the third class, but and I took the couple of the runner's knee ones because I think that I have a runner's knee problem, even though I do not run, which is, I feel like a little bit offended about, like, at least I should be able to run if I'm going to get this kind of injury.
Exactly. Did you feel it helped at all? Did you feel those classes helped?
Well, I feel like you should do it as a prevention, not as like you already have it. Don't do it if you already have it, because you're doing the first one is like a warm up, and so it's really good glute activation. You're doing a lot of like single leg moves, like the hip, when you're like laying on the ground and you're doing your hips.
Yeah.
And then you do single legs. You do a lot of those, and I think it put a lot of pressure on my knee. So I feel like don't do it if you're actually having knee problems.
Now, do you do a lot of strength training also?
Yeah, that's like probably my main focus is strength.
Okay.
And so I do a lot of strength classes, and I've done like a lot of the strength programs and splits.
Oh, okay. Now, do you like the boot camps at all?
I've done some boot camps, but I don't do them regularly. I'm trying to, like, I really like the hypertrophy classes, like doing like slow and heavy. And so some of the splits are hypertrophy focused, but, and occasionally there'll be a class that comes out, but it's not like, I would love it if they would label it. This is a hypertrophy class. And so I would know, and I wouldn't have to look through every single class plan and be like, how much, rest time do I have in between sets and stuff like that. My ideal class is just like really basic, straight sets, like a minute rest, that's fantastic.
Well, that's one thing that kind of interests me on with the new equipment.
Yeah.
That they're saying you can take these classes at your own pace. So, you can slow some of these classes down. Can you do that with the guide at all? Now, you have a guide, right?
Yeah, I have a guide.
But you can't do that with the guide.
No.
Okay.
Yeah, that's one thing that I would like with the new equipment too, is that you can do it on your own. It's kind of like, looks like the Strength Plus app,
it does.
Like transfers it into that. That's what I was thinking. Like, it would be so nice if they would take some of the strength programs and put it in the like gym section of the app. So then you could just do it on your own. And plus, like, people are taking these splits like a million times. And so it just kind of gets a little boring to watching the same class with the same music, the same jokes, you know. And
that's
so
true. It's like Groundhog Day.
Yeah, you could do it on your own. It's like sometimes some people have said, like on different Facebook groups, that they just turn down the volume and then they listen to something else.
I'll do that sometimes.
Yeah,
I do that a lot on German classes because I can't understand what they're saying anyway. Yeah. So I'll just play my own music or something like that. Although a lot of that's translated now, so that's not as big of an issue as it once was. Oh, let me also say this: like, I don't know if you participate in the team stuff, but we have a Peloton People team on the app, and I saw a little guy.
Yeah.
And so we've got people on here that, or I should say, Daniel came up with a challenge: complete 90 workouts in 30 days. And there's 16 days left in his challenge, by the way. But we've already had 3 people that have made that, and that's that's Kate Franny, Katie Carey, and then Pammy Jack Runs. Kate's done 127 workouts. Katie's done 112. And Pammy Jack Runs has done 93. I mean, it's really, the team stuff is just getting better and better. And then I got to get Kate on because she went to New York and represented us in one of their little events there. And so she knows all about the latest team stuff. But you can get class recommendations in here. Like Daniel put on here that the 30-minute kettlebell strength class with Katie Wang from 1014 was really, really good. So it's got a link to the class in it and all that kind of stuff. So it's really neat. And then, Glaze Patty said, anyone on the High Rocks train yet? And have you wouldn't be doing the High Rocks stuff.
No.
I haven't tried it either. I mean, there is a running component to it. So, but I think I would like that stuff, but I'm not very good at stuff like that anymore. Yeah. Shelly Heath recommended a 30-minute pop upper body strength from Robin from 8/6/25. So just a lot of different stuff on here. A lot of, if you want to get ideas and stuff, and not just our group or our team, Peloton People, but they have a ton of teams now. Instructors have teams and stuff like that. It's sort of like, it's kind of like a Facebook group. I don't think you can do as much in it yet, but as far as like sharing class recommendations and stuff like that, it actually works really well. And here's one you've got, Tiffany. Let's see, this Rebecca Kennedy's second ballot hike, and you stay at 12% incline for 30 minutes. Yeah. And you're recommending that? Oh my God, you're crazy.
Well, I recommend that you lower your pace targets. She says at the beginning, like, it's a good idea to like lower your pace target down a level. And I was like, I knew it was going to be hard. All of Rebecca's hikes are super hard. Rebecca and Kirsten have the hardest hikes. So you really have to be like in a mindset to do that one. But I really recommend lowering the pace target level down one, and it makes it doable. It's like a lot more pleasant than.
I don't think I could walk at 1 at 12% incline.
I think if you did a level 1, it would still be hard.
Sure. That is hard. I tried a class that had, it wasn't 30 minutes. It was like 12% for like 10 minutes. And I thought that was really, really hard.
Yeah, it is really quite challenging.
You're the real, now I see why your knees hurt.
Yeah, I think that was the class that did it.
Yeah, for sure. Oh my goodness. Yeah. But yeah, so like the team stuff's getting really, really better. And as we get more and more people, over there commenting and stuff like that, it'll be even more fun. So anyway, but I guess that, you got anything else, Tiffany?
Well, my husband keeps messaging me, and he wants to say that he did like Katie Wang's classes.
Okay, on the rower.
On the rower.
Okay.
Yeah, and
she's
yeah,
awesome. Tell him to try Alex K's class.
Yeah,
Also,
Alex
I
is
think
good.
I think he's one of those underrated guys as well. I guess Katie would be too, just because not as many people know the rowers.
I think I said Selena and Katie were my two. Yeah.
Yeah. I think those are probably really, really good ones. Have you done any of the walking classes with Alex?
No, I don't think I think he usually does runs.
He might. I figured all those guys probably did some walks too. I didn't.
Yeah, I haven't seen one. I haven't done a walk with him.
Yeah. He's really tall, and I like his music. He plays. His music tends to skew a little older, which I sometimes like. So
yeah,
let's see what we got in the comments here from us today. So Serena Myers, who got cleared, by the way, to get back on her bike this week, and but she's supposed to go slow. So go slow, Serena. But she was talking about Hannah Frankson. And she's in her obsession with Matt Wilpers. It really is funny. I mean, it's just, she is always saying something about him. And then Daniel DePipa looks like was here today too. And he says his favorite Halloween class is by John, and it's a walking class with creepy music. So I'm not sure which class that is, but anyway, man popped in to watch us today. And you can always come up and say hi. Like I put a link at the top of the thing that you can copy, and you can pop in and say anything you want. But so next week, remember that, and we will be back regular time. Tiffany, thanks so much for joining.
Yeah, thanks.
It was so nice to meet you, and first person that lives in New Mexico. Although you're from Wyoming, but via DC. So it's a great story. Anyway. All right. Thanks so much, Tiffany. Anything else?
No.
All right. Well, guys, check us out. Tiffany's leaderboard name is Tough Tiff Sweats. And I am Peloton_people. And you can follow us or check us out on YouTube, where the show is right now, or wait till it comes out on all the audio stuff. And I need a subscriber. So if you go to YouTube and you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, subscribe, because I'm trying to get like one new subscriber a week. And last week I did not get a new subscriber, but I haven't been putting out any new content either. So that's on me. But I'm going to try to do better. I got a big project that once I get off my plate, I'll be able to circle back and do some more fun stuff. So hopefully this week goes. I need this week to be an incredibly smooth, nice week. Oh, what's the weather in New Mexico right now? Like today, what's the weather?
It's 54 degrees and sunny.
That's kind of feels here. It's not sunny though, but we're a little colder here than we've been. So
yeah, it feels like 60. But so when the sun's out, it's pretty intense.
Okay. Y'all get a lot of sunshine, don't you?
Yeah. It's usually sunny, almost always. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah, that's why it's so neat about out west. Like in the wintertime here in Tennessee, we'll get days that's just overcast all day long, and it's sort of depressing, and it gets so dark so early, pretty soon. I guess the time change will be coming up this week, right?
Oh, is it already?
I think so. I think it happens really soon. Don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure.
Probably is coming up.
All right. Well, Tiffany, thanks so much for joining us. Everybody, thanks so much for listening, and we'll see you again next week. Bye-bye.
Bye.